So, like I said, my name is Ben Ellis. I'm planner of the county. I'm the case planner for this project. With us tonight, we have our county administrator, Dr. Rayleigh. I also saw County Supervisor Neil Spoonhauer and County Supervisor Jonathan Lyle. Thank you all for attending. Um, if you haven't signed in already, we do have a sign-in sheet. If you put your name and your email, if you put it legibly, we will use that to contact you with further information about this project as it moves forward. So highly encourage y'all to sign in if you haven't signed in already. We do have an overflow room too, actually. Room 234, 233, just over there. The applicants will be providing some comment cards if you haven't already, and be a great way to us to facilitate discussion when I turn this over to them in their presentation. So why are we here tonight? This is an informational meeting. A community meeting is required by code for all conditional use permits or rezonings in the county. This is a conditional use permit request. As part of this process, it begins with a pre-application meeting with county staff. County staff then discuss with other county departments and state agencies about the proposal and provides comments and feedback to the applicant. The applicant then schedules a community meeting and invites the neighbors to come out and answer any questions, listen to any concerns, and provide any feedback. After tonight, we will take this project and take it back to our development review meeting, which is that internal meeting with other county agencies and state agencies, and we will review the project and respond to any community concerns that may arise tonight.
Just if anything you have to say to kind of go through the, like, sorry, is have
No, thank you. Thank you. After that process, the applicant will be ready to file a formal application for a conditional use permit from the county. The conditional use permit will be first heard by the Planning Commission in a public hearing that is open to the public. Anybody in the county is welcome to come out and speak on the matter. The Planning Commission will then take a recommendation whether to approve or deny this, and this recommendation will be forwarded to the Board of Supervisors. The Board of Supervisors will hold another public hearing where, again, everyone is welcome and invited to come out and speak on the matter. At that meeting, the Board of Supervisors will take a vote whether or not to grant this conditional use permit. This conditional use permit is considered a special exception to the base zoning regulations. It is permitted by state code. All general localities have this kind of rule. My role tonight is to answer questions about county policy, county procedure, and the county code. This is the applicant's meeting, and with that, I will turn it over to y'all. So thank you all for coming.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. My name is Ainsley Fisher, and I appreciate you all coming out to learn more about the upcoming Virginia plans for the Virginia Sports Park and Training Center at Goochland. The purpose of this meeting is to present you all with our plans for this exciting sporting clays and archery park, the first of its kind in Goochland, where we prioritize youth safety, community, with an emphasis on conservation. And now I'd like to introduce Adnan Hamidi, Director of the Board for the Virginia Sports Park, who will provide a more detailed overview of plans for VSP. Thank you.
Thank you, Ainsley. Good evening. My name is Adnan Hamidi. I'm one of the directors for the board for VSP, Virginia Sports Park. I'd like to thank you all for coming here to listen to us present our plans for the upcoming sports park. I'd like to generally just lay out the quick structure of the meeting very quickly. Our goal is to go ahead and present to you some information, some videos, some testimony as well in support of the park, why it's a good thing for the community and for the youth. And the biggest thing I like to say is that I'm sure some of you will have questions and some comments. Please utilize this card. If we encourage you, Marcy Reese right there has them. If you don't have and you'd like to ask a question or make a comment, please fill this out. They'll all come up here so we can read them and address them at that point, please. That's important if you don't mind doing that. In the event we're unable to get to everybody, if we have a lot of questions and comments to get to every comment, we have your information so we can actually respond to you in great detail. And that's the purpose of having that card. So please utilize that and welcome to our meeting.
And now I'd like to introduce you to Tom Winfrey, who is the president of the board of directors for VSP.
Thank you, Ainsley, and thank you all for being here. I have to admit, I am a recovering sporting clay addict, so please forgive me. But I also want to fully disclose and be transparent, and you all probably know I'm chairman of the Board of Supervisors here in Goochland County. Now, I started this project over 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, prior to even thinking that I would become a Board of Supervisors member. So we were well on our way, and then I became a Board of Supervisor, and I guess it's in my blood to do things like this. Having been a community banker for most of my career, 36 years as a CEO of a community bank, and always being involved in the community. And for instance, I was president of 3 chambers of commerce in 3 different localities. I was awarded the Bernard Savage Community Service Award over in Chesterfield County. Chairman of the board of Joint Hospital Board at Bon Secours, which was also a volunteer position. I co-founded Families of the Wounded Fund, which has raised thus far about $6.8 million to help families that come to be by the bedside at their wounded soldiers at McGuire Hospital, and on and on. And so it sort of was in my blood, and I love shooting sporting clays. It is a sport. We're not killing anything. So, but anyhow, then I became Board of Supervisors, so we have to reconcile with that. So I'm here to tell you that I'm going to recuse myself from voting on this. But early on in the process, I did get a legal opinion from our county attorney, and it's a 3-page opinion. It basically says I can advocate for this project. You know, I just can't vote for it. So I'm here to turn it over to the rest of the folks here tonight, but just please know that I do, you know, I'm an advocate for this project, and I'll try to keep it at an arm's length from my duties at the county. So, and I'm asking my fellow board members to help me do that. So thank you all for being here. I'll now turn it back over to Adnan.
Okay. Let's see, let me catch up here. Okay, so a little bit about Virginia Sports Park. We are all about youth safety, community, and recreation. And as we'd like to say, we're building something special, and Goochland comes first. And there will be an emphasis on conservation. Our mission is we are a nonprofit, community-driven, state-of-the-art sporting facility that champions youth engagement, public safety, conservation, and rural recreation. And so we are seeking to establish Sporting Clays and Archery Park on 75 acres in the western part of the county off the Haydensville exit. And we're excited to share the details of that with you tonight.
Thank you, Ainsley. I'd like to give just a quick mention to a lot of the people behind this project that have worked tirelessly in putting it together. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to some of the board members and the committee as well. As you already know, Tom Winfrey is here. I'm one of the directors. We also have Mike Spraker, Bob Leipertz, Phil Murray, Chad Malib, Walter Raymond, Justin Lacey, Danny Davis, Ricky Hewitt, Richard LaHue, and Matthew Niels. And some of the committee members are David Martin, Ainsley Fisher, and Marcy Reese. So thank you all for taking care of that. One of the biggest questions that we normally get when it comes to shotgun activities is what is sporting clays? And a lot of people are confused on what sporting clays really is. Some people think it's rapid fire shotgun. Some people think it's just one spot. But let me share a very brief video with you that explains what sporting clays is all about. If I can get there we go. Please.
Welcome everyone. My name is Greg Lamka. I'm a coach for the North Polk Trap team. Today I've been asked to give you a general overview of sporting clays. Sporting clays differs from skeet and trap in that it's shot on a course, and there will be a trail around the course that may be 1 to 2 miles long. Competitors will stop at 10, 12, maybe 15 different stations to shoot targets. Each station will be composed usually of 2 machines throwing 2 different kinds of targets. When you approach the stand, like you see some of these wooden stands back here, you will be allowed to look at a pair, and then you will probably shoot 5 pairs of targets. The targets themselves will be very variable. They will be incoming targets coming at you, outgoing going away, quartering being angling, crossing going perpendicular. Other things, they may be bouncing on the ground. There are specific targets for that. They may be rising, they may be falling, they may come out over the top of your head. So all these add to the variability, and they simulate almost any hunting situation that you can imagine. In addition to that, since this takes up a large footprint of land, you sometimes will shoot something called 5-stand. 5-stand consists of 5 stands, and in this case we have maybe 8 machines out here. And you then have a menu at each station, and these menus will tell you what you have to shoot. Typically this is done by shooting 1 target or a single target at each station. There will be 5 people shooting, so each person will shoot 1. Then they'll shoot 2 pairs, so 5 targets at each stand for a total of 25 targets.
So that was just a brief description of what sporting clays is all about. The other question that comes into play is why Goochland? Why now? What about this county? Well, this year in 2025, there was a statistically valid community survey conducted for the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. Within that, the need for target sports facilities was identified in the top high priorities category. And this is public document, you can look at that. And so there's quite a need and a demand for target sports facilities in the county of Goochland. Why Goochland? Well, we moved to Goochland a few years ago for the same reason. It's rural, it's agrarian, it allows outdoor sports, and that's one of the lures of Goochland County. And the biggest thing is rural area with low population density. And hence we are looking into the western part of the county off the Haydensville exit. We have leased 75 acres from Luckstone, right at the I-64 exit. It is adjacent to an industrial site as well. And we're currently seeking a conditional use permit. Currently, it is permitted as a quarry. And so this is why we're looking into Goochland at this point. We all live here. Most of the people on the board are enthusiasts of the sport. We live in Goochland, and we want to start a facility in Goochland for generations to use. The selected site that we have, the 75 acres, it preserves rural character with natural landscape buffers, sound barriers, and green screening to manage the noise. I know noise is probably a concern for a handful of people. I'm sure it is. So utilizing the existing tree lines, the vegetation, the barriers, is going to be very important. We're not looking to clear cut this land. We're going to selectively put these stands, and we're going to utilize the existing vegetation. There's, like I said earlier, a growing need for the activities for the youth as well. And this definitely aligns with Goochland's values of outdoor life, education, and conservation. So what's in the park? What is going to go inside this park? Well, this is going to be a shotgun park, sporting clays, and it's going to be an archery park as well. We're going to have 16 stations. This is going to be on a trail, as the video described. It usually runs on a trail, and a 5-stand station as well. On the archery aspect of it, we're going to have a field range, 3D range, youth-friendly targets, and it's going to be indoor and outdoor archery available. We're going to provide extensive training lessons as well, as known, Learn to Shoot, known as LTS, for all ages. The priority here, and I cannot emphasize this enough, is safety. You'll hear me speak about safety throughout the presentation. It's safety first, safety last, and safety always. We have to emphasize safety, and that's what we plan to do with training and oversight as well. Events. We can hold events such as fundraisers. We're not talking about big parties. We're talking about people coming and utilizing the park for archery events or sporting clay events to use as fundraisers. And we can hold tournaments. So we will basically be on the map as far as people seeking to hold tournaments in our facility as well. School and corporate outings as well. At this point, I'd like to bring up Ricky Hewitt with Hewitt Solutions. And Mr. Hewitt has done the concept for the site plan on this, and I will let him speak a little bit about this.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ricky Hewitt. I'm a licensed civil engineer, live in Midlothian, and have been doing site design and permitting conceptually and full-scale design for construction and permitting here in this area for the last 11 years. And so I've partnered up with them to provide some services conceptually at this point, and I'll walk you through a little bit here what we have shown. In the site itself, as Adnan said, is about 75-ish acres and is broken into 2 different areas. The first area is, does it work here? So here on the left, here on the screen you see now is the front portion. It's what we would call like the lodge area. It's got the parking, the main buildings, the archery, the maintenance storage sheds, and to the right you can see a little bit of a stormwater management pond. Preliminary design. The other section of the project is the shooting facility or the course. You can see it here on the right board, oriented as such. Let's see. So we've got the 2 areas. We've got the front part, which is the parking, the main building, the maintenance archery area, and then we've got the shooting stations. The project is likely to be developed in a phased approach as the project is able to be financed fully. And so on the leftmost board here, you see what could be a phase 1, which is the minimum necessary facility for being able to begin. So we've got gravel parking shown, a well, septic, temporary trailer or building for office and administration. And so, like I said, we've got the 2 areas, and then we've got sort of a potentially phased approach as the project matures. The shooting stations on the right board are shown conceptually. Is there another one here to move it on the screen? So as you can see here in the color rendering, we've got the various shooting stations. It's about, what do we got, about 14 or 16 stations shown. There will be no red yellow and blue paint. That is intended to represent distances from the shootings to where we lay it out right. In terms of what is symbolically represented there, we've referenced a number of materials in terms of safe shooting areas for not just where you're shooting from, where you're stationed, but where your shot fall is. What you're seeing there is about 900 yards. Like I said, we've referenced multiple design specifications, including the Boy Scouts of America. They have a design reference for a shotgun range layout. And then the angle is about 60 degrees. All of that will be fine-tuned with more intentional design, more adherence and research on the specifications, but what is shown there is directly pulled from various documents and specifications on safe shooting areas and laying it out correctly, including the Boy Scouts. To date, the project has had some due diligence work done. It's had preliminary wetlands assessment to go out there to where we could understand where the wetlands and streams might be. It's also had a traffic assessment done to ensure no traffic impact. Work to be done includes survey, geotech, full wetland delineation and confirmation with the Corps, development of a site plan to design in conformance with the county ordinance. That design will include a detailed design and permitting for not just the site layout to make sure that the parking is correct, that we lay out everything considering property setbacks, but also for erosion control and stormwater management, and then work through that process to, again, to obtain, work back and forth with the county through the design and review process and permitting process to ultimately, hopefully, obtain county approval. And if you got any questions, please write them down. I'll be happy to work with the team to try to get them answered at the end.
Thank you, Ricky, so much for the detailed information on that. At this point, I would like to call Jim McAllister. Mr. McAllister is with McAllister and Foltz Architects. And Mr. McAllister actually created the renderings for the lodge and the pavilion as well.
Good evening, folks. How are you all doing? What you see on the building, this is the lodge, and we chose to go through and see how it might be used, how the community could use it as well, what size and the makeup of the building itself. And it's set up to be to echo the rural nature of Goochland, and then in the design of it. And I think that's important. It looks like it has a place here and belongs here. The pavilion on the right-hand side is for meeting space, and it's an indoor-outdoor space. It will have glass doors on the sides that fold up. It can be used as an indoor archery range, a multi-purpose use, community use. The building itself is set up to be used as community use. I am, as Ricky said, I've been a registered architect for 50 years. My office has been in existence for 49 years. And we've worked with a lot of nonprofits over the years, all up and down the East Coast. And we feel that this is a really good project, and we have enjoyed working on it, coming up with some designs that will be usable by the community as well as the VSP. And we're real happy with it so far, but we can always use some comments from the community. So fill out your cards, please.
Thank you very much, Jim. I appreciate it. And like I say, if you have any questions on the site plan or on the lodge, please do fill out the note cards and we can address those for you as well. One of the bigger questions that people get is, you know, what's the park going to entail? And I think we kind of covered that just a little bit. But what I'd like to also talk about, just to satisfy any curiosity, is what's not in the park. What is not going to be in there? Just to reiterate, this is going to be a sporting clay and archery sports park. That's it. It's not a rifle shooting course. There's no handgun or rifle shooting on site. It is not a hunting club. No hunting. It is sporting clays and archery. That's it on that. Now, community and youth focus, I'd like to jump to that just a little bit. We designed this park with the youth and the community in mind. As I said earlier, youth are our future. We want to make sure that everything we do will leave behind a legacy. No one here is going to benefit from this park financially. This is a volunteer position. We're doing this for the love of the sport, and we're doing this to leave behind a legacy for our children, our grandchildren, and hopefully great-grandchildren. This is designed specifically for youth groups, for family bonding. You can come in and shoot with your family. I grew up doing that as well. And school extracurricular activities. There are schools within the Commonwealth of Virginia that have a sporting clay team. If you go to any tournament, you may see a handful of teams from different high schools from the Commonwealth of Virginia. And we just felt that Goochland County lent itself, its character, its values, to have this facility here. So hopefully maybe we could have a sporting clay team out here. This can also be used, this area, as a community fundraising venue. The 4-H, Veterans Association, Police Athletic League, and et cetera, are just some examples who could possibly use this. Additional charity fundraisers can also be set up from other organizations that have used it in the past for sporting clays, such as Better Business Bureau has used a sporting clay tournament as a fundraiser, Ducks Unlimited, Boy Scouts of America. And we intend to go after prestigious and large firms within the Richmond metro area to hold their team building exercises here, to bring their clients here and shoot as well. Some of the possible future uses that could be for this venue is going to be food trucks. You could provide some food, nature trails, pollinator gardens, picnic shelters, play spaces, and just an area to hold community events. If you're not aware, just a few hours north of here in Centerville, Virginia, in Fairfax County, there is a facility called Bull Run Shooting Center. Bull Run sits on a much smaller tract of land than this. It is surrounded by homes, more densely populated than this location. And it is a municipal nonprofit that is basically situated up there. They shoot quite a bit up there. They are backed and buffered by I-66, just like we are planning to be buffered by I-64 as our background. What I'm trying to say is we're trying to model ourselves after a very successful facility that's actually smaller. We have more buffer rooms. And they have a flawless safety record. Majority of sporting clay facilities throughout the United States have a flawless record. When we sometimes hear of accidents, it's usually in an indoor range that consists of rifles and handguns. Sporting clay parks are known to be very safe. And also, the financial model that we're kind of modeling ourselves after allows for stability and excess revenue. It's going to be a standalone. We don't want to be a burden on Goochland County or the residents. We want this to hold its own and pay for its own. So that is our goal on this. As I said earlier, safety. Safety first, safety last, safety always. I can't stress that enough, and I think everybody that's on this board feels the same way. We pretty much have made that our why, so everything centers around safety. There's going to be mandatory safety briefings from certified instructors before every session. So a group comes in, they want to shoot, they get a quick lesson on safety. The instructors will evaluate their level as well. Staff will inspect all firearms and controls the ammunition. We don't want somebody coming in there shooting a heavy load by any means. So we will control all of that. There are so many different aspects of safety that I would be here all night take up your time if I started getting into the detailed discussion. But one little aspect I just want to show you a very short video of. It just discusses shotgun safety. It's less than 2 minutes, if you wouldn't mind just looking at it. This is just an example of many of the different safety protocols we're going to put into place.
Firearm safety is your responsibility. Hi, I'm Larry Potterfield with Midway USA. Let's take a look at a few things you need to know about your shotgun to handle it safely. Anytime you handle a firearm, always follow the basic rules of firearm safety. Keep the muzzle pointed in a safe direction. Keep your finger away from the trigger. Make sure it's unloaded and put it on safe. Although the location of the safety can vary, never rely on a mechanical safety as a substitute for safe gun handling. The most common safety is a crossbolt design located behind or in front of the guard. It can often be set up for right or left-hand shooters. Safeties can also be located on the top of the receiver or the tang, or even an unexpected location like inside the trigger guard. And some shotguns don't have manual safeties at all. Young shooters should always have adult supervision, and many adults often need expert advice about how to safely operate a firearm. There are many types of shotgun actions, and they all operate differently. Pump actions cycle by moving the forend back and forth. But first, the release button has to be located and pressed to open the action. Semi-automatic shotguns typically have a handle on the side of the bolt, and the bolt is released with a separate button. Break-open shotguns normally have a lever which opens the action. You should always consult the owner's manual for safe operation. Remember, firearm safety is your responsibility. I'm Larry Potterfield with Midway USA, and that's the way it is.
That was just one example, small example of what our safety training is going to include. Additionally, part of the safety training, we're going to have extensive learn to shoot programs, LTS, both for youth and adults. There are a lot of adults that could use more training, and just like the youth. So we're going to have a lot of extensive programs. Structured programs focused on respect, skill, and responsibility. Incredibly important. We maintain liability insurance. We work close with Virginia Department of Wildlife Resources as well. They have a lot of different programs that we can copy for safety as well. At this point, I would like to call Justin Lacey up here, who will discuss briefly about economic development for Goochland through VSP, and also how it benefits VSP in the environmental and lifestyle fit. Mr. Lacey is one of the directors on the board, and please welcome Justin Lacey.
Thanks. How do you go to the next slide?
You want the next one?
No, just
just click on that, or I can do it for you, whatever you like.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody for coming out this evening. Justin Lacey, a lot of familiar faces here. Glad to see everyone. And this is exciting. This has been a long time coming. A lot of work has gone into this, and I think it'll be a real asset to the community. I'm a lifelong Goochlander. In fact, my family's been here since the Revolutionary War, so we didn't make it very far. But my brother's here, my uncle's here. We're ingrained in the community here, and we believe in this. As we all know, there's a lot of sportsmen in Goochland. There's a lot of hunters. There's a lot of young hunters, and times are changing. You know, not everybody's got the 50, 100 acres at grandpa's that they can go shoot their guns anymore to learn gun safety. This is a factor, right? This is an avenue for that, to help support young hunters and teach them safety and have this, great facility here. So obviously job creation, right? There's going to be some full-time employment. There's going to be some part-time employment involved in this, and there's going to be volunteer opportunities, right? Of course, this is a nonprofit, so we want to be mindful of that. Self-sufficient. Obviously the goal here is to raise. We're a 501c3. We're going to raise the money via donations and grants, hopefully, to build this facility, get it up and running, and then self-sustain from there. So we do not obviously want to be a burden on the community. We want to be able to support this beautiful facility. Sports and tournaments to draw visitors. Believe it or not, most of us know we have a hotel in Goochland County now, so hopefully we can have some folks stay there. But this will draw in a crowd. You may not know it, there's a ton of fundraisers going on already, right? I'm a part of Ducks Unlimited, Goochland Rotary Club. We started a foundation for my brother, the Dylan Lacey Foundation. We just had a sporting clays tournament the other day. We had to go to Fluvanna. Most of these sporting clays facilities are, well, the two main two are one in Fluvanna off the Palmyra exit, and then the other is in New Kent. So there's a lot of Goochland shooters that are traveling to go shoot outside of the county and taking their money elsewhere, right? So that's another big factor. A lot of the institutions that are putting on these fundraisers are supporting folks right here in Goochland County, but we're having to have and hold these in other localities. So a lot of good comes from these. Sporting clays tournaments have kind of become the new golf tournaments, right, for a fundraiser aspect. They're very popular and very lucrative for these fundraising organizations, and we want to have the organizations here in Goochland use this facility to help support the community here. Gas tax revenue, of course. This facility is in close proximity to both Demores and Haydensville Store, so of course there'll be additional tax revenue from traffic to this location. All right. No additional, clear cutting or anything like that, right? The goal with this is to keep it as wooded as possible. Most and all of these courses are wooded. If you go to New Kent, if you go to Central Virginia or any of these courses, the idea of these is not just to go shoot a clay in the middle of a field, right? That's not difficult. We want to have these wooded, we want to have the sound buffer, and it's also a little bit more sporty to have that. So the goal is to keep it as rural as possible, which we feel like goes along with, Goochland County. Excuse me. Environmentally responsible. We want to keep this, property as maintained as we can. Be mindful of that. We've got processes in place to make that happen. This is going to, of course, encourage agritourism, athletics, wellness, conservation, and outdoor activity. Compares favorably to, other Goochland parks like Hidden Rock and Tucker, and then outdoor recreation helps the youth build lasting connections with nature. So as we know, the iPad generation we're in now, I've got young kids. And again, there's not as much acreage as there used to be. So it's becoming harder and harder to find locations to take, especially youth, to go out and do these types of events. So, I think it's a huge value to have that. I have a 6-year-old son. He loves to shoot. And, we look forward to hopefully utilizing this facility. This will establish Goochland as a leader in the sporting clays, 3D archery, and safety training, right? Right now, as I mentioned, there's a huge gap. There's basically nothing between, New Kent and Fluvanna for residents to use. This is designed to preserve the rural beauty and offer future community enhancements as well. And we want to build on a legacy of successful county recreation investments and add this to that portfolio. Offers Goochland County youth recreation opportunity that teaches safe shotgun handling, encourages outdoor activity, and builds lifelong skills. Again, back to that youth hunting thing right now. The old hunter safety course, right? You go I think you do it online now, but when I was a kid, we went to, at the time, the Fife Fire Department and sat down and went through a gun safety orientation, and then, hey, there's your hunting license, go get them, kid. Well, that's great. But this facility is going to provide a true opportunity for those kids to actually get hands-on safety, and that's a lifelong skill. And we certainly want to encourage that. Thank you all for your time. We support this and hope you will too.
Thank you, Justin. Appreciate your comments. At this stage, I would like to introduce a few speakers that would just like to come up and speak, say a few words about VSP. the project itself. And there will be some speaker discussing economic development, the impact it will have maybe on their businesses. First of all, I'd like to start off with Jad Malik, who is the Land Use Development Manager of Luckstone. Mr. Malik.
Thank you, Adnan. Hello, everyone. I'll keep my comment short, but my name is Jad. I work for Luckstone as Land Use and Development Manager for their central region. I'm here on behalf of Luck tonight to say that Luckstone will be supporting this proposal. And, you know, one thing, thank you all for the, you know, beautiful presentations. I think there was a lot of emphasis on economic development and safety, but I want to say that I got involved in clay shooting myself a couple years ago, and although my shooting skills didn't get there yet, but I think what I've gained from being involved in that community, the shooting community, is far more important to me than shooting, and that is the relationship, the friendships, the, you know, the very tight, open, welcoming community, the shooting community, that really just opened up many doors for me personally, career-wise, and a lot more. So for that main reason, Luckstone wanted to support this, because we'd like to think of ourselves as not just a business in the community, but part of the community. And we think that this project will bring the Goochland community together more, and we wanted to be part of it, so we welcomed it on our property. And then we trust the professionals, Ricky, Adnan, everyone involved, that this Luckstone property will be utilized in a very safe, responsible manner to promote a very good sport that, you know, hopefully we'll see here on our property very soon. So thank you all, and go VSP.
Thank you, Jad. Thank you, Jad, for your comments. Appreciate it. I would like to bring up William Raymond, who is the president of Distinguished Old Gentlemen Sportsmen. He likes to say, you don't look that old, so come on up.
That's how I got to be president. You mean, I brought down the average age by at least 30 or 40 years. Good evening, everyone. Friends, neighbors, fellow citizens of Central Virginia, we're here tonight to talk about our community, about our future, and a project that embodies the best of both, the Virginia Sports Park and Training Center. This is just not a proposal. It is a true testament of what can be achieved when we unite behind a shared vision for a stronger, more vibrant Central Virginia, for more vibrant future for Central Virginia and Goochland County. For years, a dedicated group of our neighbors identified the need. They saw that our residents, especially that our young people, often had to travel far outside of the area to find quality facilities for sports like archery and sporting clays. That's why they came together in 2022 to form Virginia Sports Park, a 501c3 nonprofit with a simple but powerful mission. That is to create a state-of-the-art sporting facility right here at home. It isn't just a sports park. It is a community-driven initiative that stands to benefit all of us. First, the sports park will be a hub for positive youth development by providing safe, welcoming, and world-class destination for learning and training. This facility will give people of all ages a place to learn, discipline, sportsmanship, and personal responsibility. It will provide an inclusive space for all skill levels to grow and flourish. Second, this project prioritizes public safety and responsible recreation. With a focus on proper training and safety, the Virginia Sports Park will foster a positive environment for learning about outdoor sports, Our community can be assured that this facility will be built with the highest standards, creating a secure environment for all participants. Third, this facility will enhance our community engagement and boost our local economy. It will serve as a destination for outdoor sports, drawing visitors from across the region. These guests will frequent our local businesses, eat at our restaurants, support our shops, and generate new revenue streams, fostering economic growth right here in Goochland. It will give you one more reason to be proud of Goochland County. Fourth, did you know that nearly 300 colleges and universities around the country have sporting clay programs, which include trap, skeet, and sporting clays? These universities include George Mason University, Duke University, Liberty University, Radford University, don't throw any stones at me, University of Virginia, Auburn University, and the other half, don't throw stones at me, Virginia Tech. And yes, Hampden-Sydney. These sports are also recognized on the international stage as Olympic events. Wouldn't it be great to have a young man or young lady from Goochland County be an Olympian trained right here at Virginia Sports Park? Finally, and perhaps most importantly, the Virginia Sports Park is a project built on, by, and for our community. The commitment shown by its residents, who have spent years collaborating and raising funds, is a powerful reminder of our collective strength. This is a park that reflects our values and a commitment to our youth, a dedication to safety, and a belief in the power of community. Building a project like this requires foresight, dedication, and the support of the entire community. I ask you to join me in supporting the Virginia Sports Park and Training Center. Let's invest in the future that provides our citizens of all ages with opportunities, strengthens our local economy, and enriches the lives of every Goochland resident. One last thing I'd like to share with you is that the mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. Thank you.
Thank you, William. Appreciate it. I would like to call Herb Tichy. Mr. Tichy is a certified firearms instructor and a certified range officer. Would you please come up?
Thank you for having me. I'll be brief. I've been around competition shooting for a long time. I'm nearly 80 years old. That in itself is important. We talked about the opportunities for the youth. We all understand that. But where do we go when we get older? When we age, we don't want to give up our sport. I've been a range master and a range officer for many years. I added up the number of rounds that have been shot when I am responsible, and it comes to over 1 million. Not a single accident, not a single problem anywhere along the line. Now, we talked about the Goochland Rotary Club and others having fundraisers. Well, where does that money go? It goes back into Goochland. The James River Rotary Club in Midlothian has a fundraiser too. They'd like to come out here. Youth organizations, football teams, little leagues are also doing fundraisers. Like has been said before, this is the new golf tournament. All right? I've watched this presentation and I've looked at what's going on, what is planned, and I can't find any problems from a safety point of view. How to set up a shooting range is well known. The information is publicly available. These guys have done a good job. That's part of it. The other part of it is these are serious people that have done serious work in other parts of their lives, and they're doing serious work one more time, this time to benefit the community. And yes, Hampton Sydney does have a sporting clays club, as being noticed in the background. Now, I said I'd be brief, and I will be. I'll hang around after the close for anybody that's got any questions on any part of this. If I can't answer the question, I'll find a subject matter expert in the room that's more familiar with that aspect of the program. I support the project. I plan to shoot at the project. I'll bring my friends. Let's support this. One closing thought. Now, as I look through this and you look through this, we can find things that we don't like. I mean, there have been even people that have found things in me they don't like. None of us are perfect. But this will be made to be as close to perfect as it can be. Thank you.
Thank you, Herb. Appreciate that. Do we have anyone from DWR or? Okay, I'll move on. One of the very well-known organizations in the area is the 4-H that concentrates heavily on youth. They were not able to be present today, but they did send a letter of intent, and I would like to just read some excerpts from their letter. It's a very lengthy letter. I'll spare you that, but I'll just pull a couple of paragraphs and read to show their support behind VSP. On behalf of Goochland 4-H and Virginia Cooperative Extension, I am writing to express our strong support for the development of the Goochland Shooting Sports Complex, VSP, and to outline Goochland 4-H's intent to collaborate with this project as it moves forward. The establishment of a safe, educational, and community-based shooting facility will serve as an invaluable source for youth and adults across Goochland County and the surrounding region. Goochland's 4-H Shooting Education Club has experienced consistent growth in community interest, yet access to appropriate facilities remains limited. It continues, the addition will directly support 4-H youth programs and provide new opportunities for sportsmanship, safety education, and life skill development aligned with the mission of Virginia 4-H. That was just recently submitted to us, the letter of intent. Another gentleman, because he is down the road at a Boy Scouts event, could not be here today. His name is George McGovern. He's the CEO of Heart of Virginia Council of the Boy Scouts of America. He was kind enough to make a 20, 30-second video for us to show his support, and I'd like to play that for you.
Hello, I'm George McGovern, the CEO for the Heart of Virginia Council of Boy Scouts of America. And we're here today to let you know that we're interested to collaborate and be a part of this exciting project called the Virginia Sports Park. And what we want to do is work with you all and our scouts to participate in this, because we feel that shooting sports, whether it be archery, shotgun shooting, would be a great opportunity to help teach them focus, discipline, perseverance, and most of all, safety. With an indoor archery range that allows you to shoot all year round, plus a sporting clays course, these are opportunities that we do not have at our existing facility. We feel like this is a great project. We're willing to support it and be a part of it. And I thank you very much for being interested in making this thing happen for our scouts and other people in the community. Thank you.
That was Mr. McGovern. I appreciate him sending a video. Is Greg Nachman in the audience? Oh, Mr. Nachman is with Ducks Unlimited, pretty well-known organization, and he would like to say a few words.
Thank you. So my name is Greg Nachman, and my family has owned land in the county dating back to the 60s. Sporting Clay's venue in Goochland is more than just a range. It's a community resource. Imagine our kids' schools, local charities, and conservation groups like Boy Scouts and Ducks Unlimited and other nonprofits hosting fun, high-profile shooting events that raise thousands of dollars right here in the county. Over the years, I've served as a regional chair for Ducks Unlimited, as well as several positions within the Goochland chapter. Since 1994, the Goochland chapter of Ducks Unlimited has raised over $1 million, helping conserve more than 4,000 acres, which is part of 86,000 acres Ducks Unlimited has preserved in Virginia. This facility will strengthen our local economy, empower nonprofits, and directly support the community. Fully support. On behalf of Ducks Unlimited, let's build something that truly benefits the community.
Thank you. Thank you, Greg. I'd like to call up, I'd like to switch this a little bit, and let's discuss a little bit of archery. I always feel like archery gets left out when it's such an important part of our youth. I'd like to call Marcy Reese up to the podium. Marcy is one of the proprietors of Virginia Archery Center and a certified instructor, dealing with training to safety, to endless certifications under her belt. Please welcome Marcy Reese.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming out. My name is Marcy Reese. I'm what's called a Level 4 USA Archery NTS instructor, which means absolutely nothing to you. I've trained and coached hundreds of youth archers throughout my 20 years of being a coach. I've been involved in the shooting sports my entire life. I remember shooting guns with my dad, my grandfather on the farm. So shooting's been a big part of my life.
Hello, I'm George McGovern, the CEO for the Heart of Virginia Council of Boy Scouts of...
I hit a button, sorry.
Oh, fine.
All right, so through my years, I've competed as well. I was part of the USA shooting team, for archery team. But nothing gives me more gratification than coaching my students. The benefits of the shooting sports on our youth shooters is really what I'm here to talk about tonight. I promise not to say that. I've worked with children and adults. So the shooting sports are a physical activity that helps develop your strength, posture, core strength, mental focus, and discipline. I've seen kids thrive with confidence and a sense of pride and increased self-esteem from being involved in the shooting sports. There's been countless studies on the effects of the shooting sports on youth. One most notable is NASP, National Archery in the School Program. We have over 600 schools in Virginia that participate in this program where the kids can earn scholarship money for future college. But one of their studies showed that kids that participate in the shooting sports, they have increased higher grade average, and there's less truancy just from the shooting sports, especially true of kids in the inner city. From my own observations, I see that the shooting sports require a high level of patience and concentration. And these skills will translate into other areas of life for children as they grow. The shooting sports can be practiced alone or in groups. That's where we learn safety, teamwork, cooperation, and sportsmanship. The shooting sports offer something for everyone of all abilities and all skill levels. We welcome all people. I have to say that the beginners are my favorite by far to coach. They have no bad habits. They learn respect for the equipment because safety is always at the forefront of all of our activities. I'm proud to say that in my 20 years, my archery programs are 100% accident-free. Through partnerships and affiliations with many of the shooting sports groups, there will be opportunities for shooters to excel. Some organizations offer college scholarships opportunities in all the shooting sports. JMU has a great archery team. Liberty has a great archery team. And a lot of these schools outside in other states also offer full ride scholarships for archery. As for this venue, I totally support it, obviously. But first of all, I want you to know that we want to be good neighbors to those that are near us. Those of you that came tonight with concerns, we want to talk about it, answer your questions. We want to be good stewards of the land, and we want to be able to educate and discuss this project. So if you have any questions of me, don't hesitate. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marcy. Appreciate your remarks. I would like to call a local proprietor of in the area where the range is going to be, the sports park will be set up. Donna Reynolds has a location venue called Bandits Ridge, and it's not too far from the proposed site. And she'd like to say a few words. Donna.
Hi, I'm Donna Reynolds. I've known Adnan for a couple of years because we have done several farm-to-table dinners. One thing that we're finding with our venue is that there is no activity close to our vicinity. So because we're a venue and we can have corporate events, there's definitely, every time they contact us, we have great prices, but the first thing is, what's near there? What can our folks do before we get out to the venue? Nothing. So, because we're in western side of Goochland. Another thing is that when we do weddings, the brides are always there first thing in the morning. The guys go, what can I do? I don't know. Go find something, golf course, but guess where the golf courses are? Western or eastern side of town. So I feel like this is going to be a huge thing for just bringing in something for the western side of the county. And so that's all I had to say.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you. It's good to have a perspective from a business owner close to the facility, and thank you for your remarks on that. Our next speaker, some of you might know him. He is the proprietor, the president of Goochland Gun Works. Mike Colon, I'd like to call him up here. He'd like to say a few words. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you coming on short notice.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike Colon. I'm with Goochland Gun Works. I see a lot of faces that we see in our shop on a regular basis. I'm a father of 3 boys. One of my favorite things to do with my 3 sons is to go shoot clays. Like many others I've heard, it's a very addicting sport. And when we do these shooting days, we make a day of it. We get up early, we go to the restaurant in New Kent County, we go shoot clays, and prior to me owning a gun shop, we bought our ammo in New Kent County, and then we go to lunch in New Kent County. As someone who's been in Goochland his whole life, my family has farmed Goochland since the Revolutionary War. I hate spending my money elsewhere. The other thing I hate is when I have customers come to my shop and when the largest questions I get asked is, where can I go shoot? And there's nowhere to go shoot. Unless you have family land, there's nowhere to go shoot clays in Goochland. I would love to be able to send people to somewhere in Goochland to see them spend their money in Goochland County, see that money coming back to Goochland County. Shooting with my boys is such an awesome experience. My boys are 13, 18, and 21. Through shooting, they've learned discipline, they've learned safety. It makes them better people. It builds confidence in them to go out and shoot clays. Well, just shooting in general, but clay specifically. I got very into clays and started shooting clays competitively many years ago and have been out of that world for a while, but shot on a national level. and I see the community that the Clays World has. Good people, they're happy to help out, they keep the area clean. You know, I joke that there's been many a clay tournament when it was over, I was picking up shells after the tournament just so somebody else didn't have to pick them up. The Clays people and the people who are in that world and in the archer world, they're good folks. So we are hugely supportive of seeing people come to Goochland to shoot clays. Obviously, we see the benefit for our shop as well because we'd rather have Goochland people buy from a Goochland business and keep their money in Goochland. I believe in keeping my money in Goochland. I get my bow tuned down the street. I buy my pocket knife across the street from the knife shop. The good folks at Goochland Restaurant, we stop there and we eat lunch. I think the guys in our shop eat there probably 4 or 5 days a week. We like to keep things in Goochland, and we would love to see Sporting Clays in Goochland. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. Next person. I don't think she needs much introduction. Carol Taylor. She's the Executive Director of Goochland County Chamber. Please welcome Carol. She may know a thing or two about economic development and tourism as well.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Mike. We need an appointment. But anyway, my name is Carol Taylor with the Goochland County Chamber of Commerce. And what excites me most about this project, Virginia Sports Park, it reflects the values that I hear from my business owners that they love about Goochland. Community, youth, and the outdoors. And this just makes sense to me. This makes a lot of sense. The project isn't just about the sporting clays and the recreation. We've talked about safety and security. I think it's important for us to build structure and responsibility and respect in our children. I heard someone talk about teaching them some patience. I think that's a very good thing to talk about these days that they might not get through regular learning experiences, so I'm very excited about that. That's workforce development, guys. So it's not building a robot, I get that. It's not working on a computer, I get that. But teaching a child to be respectful and responsible and safe, that's workforce development. These are the type of people we want to be able to go out into the workplace. The team behind this project, they've done their homework. They don't throw things together. They are doing the right things, talking to the right people, and putting the pieces together for this puzzle. They also care about the community and the environment, and they're going to make sure, like they've mentioned, to take care of our trees and our buffers and keep it beautiful out there. It's important to preserve some of this land in our community, and this is a good way for us to do it while also building environment for the youth. From an economic standpoint, it just makes sense. Like I said, it's going to attract visitors, it's going to be good for tourism, and it's going to generate revenue for local businesses like Bandits Ridge. We mentioned Goochland Restaurant and some other folks that could really benefit from some out-of-towners coming into town to take part in these sporting clays. As someone who sees the impact of youth and family-centered projects in Goochland County and how it affects our businesses, I believe that Virginia Sports Park will be a tremendous asset. It aligns beautifully with Goochland and what we want and what we see in our future. And I hope you give this some thoughtful consideration. And this is a great way for us to strengthen our people and our beautiful place that we live in. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Carol. Appreciate your remarks. Our next speaker, former Goochland County Supervisor and a two-time interim county administrator, and just a all-around good old guy, Manny Alvarez.
Thank you, Adnan. I really don't have a whole lot to add. I think everything's been covered from safety. Somebody cheering back there. It's going to be 20 minutes most. No, I really don't have a lot to add. I can attest to the fact that this is not an overnight operation. I was on the Board of Supervisors when I first got a call from Tom wondering what it would take to do this. And I had breakfast with Tom and I believe Justin Lacey at, I forgot what the restaurant was called then, but it's over there by, they don't remember probably, but I never forget a free meal. But anyway, yeah, it was a pickle barrel then, yeah. And I am very supportive of this. Some of you know my story. I came from Cuba. I remember the day the Cuban police came and took my grandfather's rifles and shotgun away. He was a bird hunter in Cuba, so I'm very pro Second Amendment. I believe that one problem we have today with all the shootings and so on is that kids don't really know firearms. You get on a video game and you shoot people, and the next day you turn it on again and the same people are still alive, and that's not the way it really is. So I really appreciate the fact that these folks are going to be teaching safety to kids, and I think it gives them an opportunity to come out and support and practice a skill that we're losing. When I was running for office years ago, back in 2011, a lot of people said, we live in the country, but I don't have a place to go shoot. I am a member of Cavalier Pistol and Rifle Club, but that's very expensive, and the waiting list is years out. So I am very supportive of this. I hope it will be approved when it comes to the board. I'm glad I don't have to be up there to make the decision anymore, but I hope you guys will consider it and support it as it moves forward. Thank you, Adnan.
Thank you, Manny. Appreciate it. I think a lot of speakers have come up and expressed their support for VSP, and we truly appreciate their time. This is spoken from their heart, whatever they said. We did not guide them in this. They wanted to speak, and we wanted to make sure they had the opportunity. So just to recap, we have a lot of partnerships and community support for this project, including Ducks Unlimited, DWR, Boy Scouts, Distinguished Old Gentlemen Sportsmen, the 4-H, the NSCA. We also have a lot of support from a lot of local businesses, as you have heard tonight, and also a lot of nonprofits as well in the area. And we're hoping for future support of law enforcement for the training and continuing education in this facility as well. I'm going to bring up Ainsley back here in a second, and in the interim, just show you just a little video of just Sporting Clay and Archery, a bunch of people and kids getting together and enjoying Sporting Clays and enjoying archery as well.
All right, well, thank you all for being here tonight. So this sounds amazing, and if you're wondering how you can get involved to help, word of mouth is great, so spread the word. If you like what you're hearing tonight and seeing, you can volunteer or perhaps join a committee down the road. We have many opportunities for naming rights, for sponsorships, and so everything from probably pavers on up to buildings if you're interested in becoming a sponsor. So if you would like to connect with us, contact us at, what's the web page here, or the email?
info@vasportspark.com.
Oh, there it is. Sorry, yes, did you hear that? info@vasportspark.com. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Ainsley, appreciate it. There are, we're going to get to some of the comments and the questions in a second. We're going to collect the cards and go over them in a second. Please, I see people still filling out comments. continue to do that. We'll address that. Just preliminary, but I would love to just get based upon what we presented to you, a show of hands, who's in support of this project. Would love to just get, wow. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Great number. We'll get to the Q&A in just a second. We'd like to address your questions and comments that you may have. If we don't have an answer for you tonight, I hope you filled out the information on the card. Please trust me, we will respond to you individually and in great detail as well. So we just want to make sure that if you do have, whether they're proponents or opponents, comments, questions, we want to address you, all of those for you, okay? Who has the question cards? Is someone? I think they're making their way up. So while they make their way up, I would just like to reiterate, I think one of the theme of this entire sports park, which you may have heard, was about youth involvement, teaching, safety. Safety is paramount. Community involvement, economic development. So overall, it's a win-win situation that this is such a good venue for the county. And this will be such a great legacy to leave behind for our children as well. And we would appreciate your support on this. Are there any more cards? Did I? Oh. Bear with me, we've got a lot of cards here. Sorry, this is where I need my glasses. I'm actually just separating them with similar themes, so just bear with me one second. All right, I'll just start going through these. The first is, will there be improvement to roads? What are the operating hours? Are there any other location that can be used? Will this drive the game to other locations? I'm assuming by game you're talking about hunting season, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but road improvements, we had a traffic impact analysis conducted by a private party that concluded that this does not warrant any modifications to the road. As far as operating hours are concerned, we plan on shooting in the morning, not super early at all. We don't want to wake you up. And we plan to cease operation right at or right before dusk. Yeah. Yes. 7 days a week, yes.
You don't want disturbance, right?
There will be noise. Yes, well, this is a shotgun facility. There's going to be noise, obviously, yes. Are there any other locations that can be used? In our research, we had identified this as the best location to utilize for this particular purpose. Will this drive the game to other locations, I'm assuming hunting. I can't speak for the deer or the turkey, I'm sorry. That's not something I could say. I know this is part of a much larger parcel, so. Guys, please bear with me. We generally have slated 60 minutes to 75 minutes for this. I will try my best to get through all of this. If there is additional information requested on something that I read, if you just raise your hand, I'll make a note so we can respond later in greater detail, because we'll be here till 2 a.m. if I start going through every.
If this is a community meeting, why can't communities speak?
I can give you definitely a few minutes to speak. Some are just comments. I'll fly through these very quickly. I completely support VSP in our community. It will be a great value added to Goochland County. Walton Road improvements. What are the hours of operation? We just went over that. That's I support this project. Property values. This is going to be an operation that is going to bring in economic development. I understand. Hang on a second, guys. The property values, we do not foresee them dropping. Listen, I'll tell you what.
Mr. Whitten said, oh, we're not going to kill anything. You are. You're going to kill our peace of mind. You're going to kill our property values. And that's, that's wrong. You're killing the reason why we're doing that. That's wrong. That is wrong. He's telling the truth.
Is duly noted, and I'm taking notes on this, yes. So,
Would it be possible to organize like a hearing session subsequent to this for the community members to provide their ideas so that we can streamline it and not have this back and forth?
I think.
I think it's a wonderful idea. If questions, my apologies, if questions that remain unanswered tonight, I'm sure the applicant would love to schedule another community meeting to discuss with the neighbors about the proposal.
Thank you. Sorry. There was a question about notice in the mail for this meeting. The applicant is required to send out notice 2 weeks in advance. Yes. By code, they're only obligated to notify the adjacent property owners. Given the nature of this proposal, staff did recommend that they increase the radius of the adjacent property owner notification, understanding that, where to draw the line is a tricky determination, and if there are more people around, we're happy to increase the distance of notification requirements. Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Moving on, we would be willing to entertain a Q&A for a lot of the stuff that's not answered tonight. There seems to be apparently a lot of, as I'm reading through, redundant. So there seem to be concerns here. And as duly noted, we're not dismissing these. We would like to address these. But I know for a fact, just looking at all these, we cannot get to these tonight. So we will discuss at the board, put together a follow-up. So we don't want you to leave thinking that you've been dismissed by any means. That's not our goal, guys. It is not our goal. And I cannot be more sincere about that. I know some of you are going to pose in this perfectly fine. We'd like to have a dialogue with you on that. Okay. So let's see. Okay, thank you. Says, I live next to the State Farm with the rifle pistol range. I haven't seen any reduction of property values. I'm just reading comments, guys. Please don't shoot the messenger. Just reading comments here. How does the sport park benefit the homes, people, I'm sorry, adjacent to the park? As I said, we feel that the values are not going to suffer.
Our road is terrible. Our road is terrible. We're gonna build this in our neighborhood. We can at least fix our road. What are you gonna do for the neighbors in the neighborhood?
Duly noted. I will note this, and I will note this. Let's see, you need to look at Central Virginia, Sporting Clays, location, no one close by. Some locations are like that, a lot of them are not. It's noise pollution, same thing. Proposed area, traffic will be done, accommodate, we've already addressed that. Will there be lights? Okay, good question. No. We're not, we didn't address this, but we're not planning on shooting at night. So we're not going to be putting up big spotlights to light up the entire area. There are going to be security lights pointed downward, obviously. There are going to be, for the security of the staff as well, and the patrons, there'll be lights in the parking lot probably in the area there when they're leaving. So it is lit. Let's just say people leave in the dark. You don't want them driving out in the dark, basically. So there will be some lights, but they're not going to be floodlights. They're not going to be massive spotlights that you may see at facilities that utilize nighttime shooting. Let's see. Property values, we've addressed that. I live 1,500 feet from the proposed range. The noise will be absolutely unbearable, especially outside. I host regular community meetings at my home, outdoor and indoors, and being subjected to 8+ hours of sudden loud noise 7 days a week will be inescapable. I'm duly noting this. This site has no vegetation. As it was logged, it is only 300 feet from nearest home. There is no distance buffer between range and family home. I can see the highway. Okay, so logging. These are trees that grow pretty quickly. This project is not going to be erected tomorrow morning. This is trees that are logged are generally grow up very quickly within a couple of years or so. But there are existing buffers in the area. So
it's already been clear cut, so you won't have to clear cut it, it's already been done.
and we're not planning on clear cutting, so as we said.
Where's the buffer?
There are trees that are buffers in there. There are. Again, I like to move on to the next one. We will discuss these. I just want to move forward. I don't want to deny anybody the opportunity of all these different notes, that's all. So just concern here, I live on Winter, it's a border Luckstone property, safety, traffic, lights on, pollution. Noted. We're just putting all these, there seem to be similar concerns, we will note these and address them. How much traffic, correct, wear and tear, local roads, local residents' property values. Okay. Safety plan, noise mitigated, road use agreement, alignment, utilities, noise study. Profit next step. Or we comment to our direct neighbors who oppose the project. Okay. 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 It says board member, county board of supervisors, an extreme and inappropriate conflict of interest. I think we have addressed that, and then has recused himself from this from voting on this.
Sir, that was my card. That's still a concern for me. I'm not comfortable with you dismissing it like that and would like to discuss it.
I'm not dismissing this, and I'm not dismissing this. I'm reading all the comments. What I would like to do is definitely schedule a follow-up. Yes, I'm not going to dismiss this. So please.
Before we end this meeting, could you just tell me something about the entrance to this park? Is it going to be coming up Wall Street Road, or is it going to be coming off of 64 going back? How will all this traffic be going to this place? Because I live right there. I can barely get out of Three Shot Road onto Wall Street Road now because there's a couple stories, a couple.
Sure.
We don't have a stoplight. Haydenville has one, intersection. But if all this traffic, if this thing is as big as you're saying, and it's glorious and wonderful, people are gonna be coming from everywhere, and I live there. So what do I do? What does he do?
I work from home. How do you explain gunshots throughout an entire meeting?
What does he do?
What about people who work at night?
It's the traffic, the noise, the people who bought a place there and wanna.
Night nurses that have to sleep during the day?
I'm sorry?
Night nurses that have to sleep during the day?
What about the
That live in this
elderly
area?
friends of mine? One of my she's like 87 years old, and her sister lives there too. They take a nap at 4 o'clock.
These are all valid concerns. So what I would just like to say, again, these will all be included in the follow-up session. I think it's appropriate to address all these issues. The main thing I like to say is people think there are going to be about 1,000 vehicles a day coming into this location. Hang on, please. Sir, I would really like to get through this, and I appreciate not interrupting. I will give you the opportunity. I would. Of course. We will be addressing this. I cannot get through everything tonight if I'm constantly interrupted. I'm sorry.
Just like the shotguns are going to be anything up at home.
Sir, please.
Just think about it.
We are noting this. And that's why we are going to be following up with additional comment period.
I just had a question about.
Yes, sir.
Is VSP, is this will be their one and only facility, or do they own other ones elsewhere?
No, this is the only facility.
The shot, is it, the lead shot raining down everywhere, would that cause any kind of groundwater pollution in the area?
Valid question. As part of this program, we have started a stewardship program on this. Part of the stewardship program is lead mitigation. Now, I'd like to point out, lead in the Commonwealth of Virginia is legal. Lead undisturbed, usually a lot of ranges let the lead sit. It does not contaminate if it's not disturbed. However, we are proposing a lead mitigation program where we will be revealing that as it's completed fully. We're still working on it. The reason it's not complete is because at least 20% of that stewardship program is on-site specific. Once we have gone a little bit further in the approval process, soil sampling, everything is done. So there's a lot that goes into it, and it becomes a site-specific mitigation project, basically. So our engineer has taken that into consideration as well. I'm going to continue with the cards, please. Yeah. Are you concerned about noise? It is shotgun shooting. I mean, you're going to hear some noise. We moved to Goshen for quiet, and I don't want to hear gunshots all day, every day. Let's see. I apologize. I'm having a very difficult time reading this one. Would you mind helping me with that? Well. Okay, I live close to site, anxious dogs. constant noise, bird shots from shotgun can be heard up to 2 miles away. Lead contamination of groundwater, lights affecting night sky, we don't have that. Additional traffic on narrow road, we talked about that. Bird shot and the noise, we've done a preliminary noise study on this, and I will tell you that the decibel reading of I-64 is relatively high. And when you let off gunshots next to something else, for example, a freeway, that's why a lot of gun range, sporting parks are base established trying to use a freeway as a buffer. When you utilize that, what it does muffle the sound quite a bit. So we have done a study on that, and we have taken readings at different distances as well. And it is background noise. It turns into background noise. It does not sound like that we're shooting in your backyard. It actually is background noise, what it sounds like.
Will you make the results of the study publicly available?
We can. I'm sorry?
In the winter?
Yes.
The interstate completely. I live right there because of the trees, and I hear every vehicle that goes by.
Sure.
So what's your plan for in the winter? I know you're saying you use the interstate and the foliage. So what's your plan for the winter? Are you gonna?
Keep in mind also that if you look at the plan, all the shooting is done toward the middle of the property. If I were standing on one side and if I were to shoot a shotgun, even at 45, 60-degree angle in the direction of where you are, it would sound a lot louder than if I'm shooting more toward the center of it. I like to move on with some more of these. Listen, I know there are going to be a lot more questions, so I think that it is, like we said, we've agreed, we will do a follow-up on this, so all the questions can be answered. But I'd like to handle this in just an orderly manner, please. I think it will teach young teenagers safety and responsibility, groundwater pollution, disturbance of peace, traffic, remediation, and reclamation of lead. Why not make a baseball field in western Goochland? I can't answer that question, sorry. We don't want this in our neighborhood. We moved to a quiet, peaceful area and want to stay that way. It's noted. How can my family utilize this park? Will the road be improved? How much will this cost to utilize? Public access, and can I walk our dogs there? We will look into that question. Who will compensate property owners for loss of value? As I stated, we don't foresee that happening. There's no comment on that. I'm going to save this one for last. There's a lot on that card. Great for the community. Very well conceived project. Will be an asset to the community. What metrics will you use to measure success of this project? What is the business model? Membership? It is not membership. This is a nonprofit organization. There's a daily use fee. Some of these I will. Okay, so basically just asking what is the scope of the full project, and we will be disclosing all of that as this moves forward. I'm in support of VSP. Growing up in Goochland, this was something I always wanted. I believe this project is a great addition to the community. Concerned with noise. I live close. In the summer of all, sound like I lived in Gaza, nonstop, retired, here to enjoy peace and quiet. Well noted, sir. There's not a climate control or indoor option for youth archery in RV surrounding areas like Goochland. The combo indoor-outdoor 3D gives opportunities to host events and large competitions. Science reports show an impact of sound on living organisms. How are you abating and ensuring sound impact for? Bear with me 1 second, is there? Okay, so you kill the trees. Yeah, thank you. There's a lot to digest. Yes, I appreciate that. Yes, sir. Thank you. So this truly is one of the purposes of these note cards, because I knew very well we're not going to be able to address every single thing this evening. By having this, and if you're agreeable to a follow-up, we would definitely do this. And, you know, we can set an ample notice on this, basically. So you're welcome to attend this. Yes, sir.
Just a question, if the park wasn't to go, what would Lux plans be with the land? Would they be using explosives there or eventually?
I can't speak for that. I don't know. It is a quarry, and it's an active permit, so I'm assuming yes. It's all good. So to answer your question, it's possible.
My question would be, were there other sites considered, or has this been the only site? I will say that I wouldn't say I'm opposed to this park. I think it's a great idea in the right and proper area.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, if you look at Fluvanna, that is way off the road, nowhere near a residence, and it's not disturbing any of the community around it. If this were looked at in different areas, you know, not in a residential area, it may be perceived a little bit better. Were other areas taken a look at, or checked into out in Goochland?
Yes. To answer your question, yes. Exactly which sites, I can't state that right now. But yes, other areas were looked at, and this seemed to be the most favorable site after the research. As long as the records are kept on it. I mean, we literally drove around, is what we did, finding an area that would be suitable for this, basically. So we drove all over the place, yes. I'm sorry. It's a good point. I'll make a note of that.
No, the applicant, zoning tends to regulate specific land. There's no obligation for them to study other sites for this proposal.
Is there any obligation for them to do a third-party noise analysis as part of the rezoning or CUP application?
They're under no obligation. Given the nature of the project, I hope that staff will expect that they do consider noise and the impact of the proposed use on neighboring properties.
Thank you. With this, I'd like to just conclude a few things. We will address questions as long as you have them in here. We will follow up with this. We will schedule a follow-up with you guys as well to discuss all your concerns on this. Let us digest all of this so we can respond properly. And we truly do appreciate you coming out and sharing your concerns and support of this. Obviously, we're here for a reason to move this forward. So part of the process is to address concerns as well. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody coming. I know it gets to be late sometimes, but thank you for your time. I truly appreciate it. I hope you signed the roster, because you will get notice according to that, basically. That way you have notice, it'll be coming to you. If you haven't signed it, please do sign it, and we will follow up with you. Thank you all for your time, we really appreciate it, and thank you for coming.